Well, hello. Welcome to my first ever podcast. Today, I am going to take a second to introduce myself. My name's Aaliyah. Hello. I'm here to have a conversation with myself that can hopefully bring some insight to a situation that you're in or somebody close to you. I feel as though in our generation, not our generation specifically, but I feel like at our age, early 20s, mid 20s, late teens, we kind of really stumble through the world, which is how we all go through life. You live and you learn, you know? I do think we all personally need a space to have our day-to-day actions like questioned and put into perspective so that as people we can grow. I think this is the age where a lot of us are outgrowing friends, making new friends, getting into relationships, maybe starting the next chapter of your life like post-secondary or career-wise, or making the first big decision of like buying a car. But I think it's important to have people around you that are going to push you to be uncomfortable so that at the end of it all, you are stronger and smarter. And today, I was going to talk about relationships just as our first conversation, because I think it's a really interesting space to navigate now that we have so many avenues to do it. Without Miss Quarantine, of course, we're just going to pretend like Rona never happened, but going to bars with your friends, swiping on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge, whatever the frig it is that you use. It's kind of interesting meeting people, hard to meet people, hard to have a genuine connection with people. Because at this age, of course, we want to sound like, and act like we have it all together, or we have it all, even though that's the furthest thing from the truth. Really comes down to us just being genuine, finding people. But yeah, like I was saying, not all of us are dating for the future. A lot of us are in different stages of what we want out of relationships, and that's totally okay. I really just want to stress the fact that relationships, quote unquote, nowadays don't work out because they lack proper communication. And honestly, the proof of that is the talking stage for all of us. How many times have you maybe swiped right on somebody and matched, get really excited, maybe you send the first message, maybe they send you the first message, and you guys kind of have a surface level conversation from there, and then maybe he or she asks for your number, or and it goes off the platform. But for months on end, you're in this unsure situation of, oh, they're mine, but I'm still talking to other people. They're my number one. And it's okay to do that, especially in our 20s. Having a dating pool, having a group of people that you are vetting out to determine whether or not they are going to be that forever person or they are going to be in your life for a season is really important. But it's also really important to express that to the person that is on the receiving end of whatever your intentions are. No, we don't have to have the answers right away, but it definitely needs to be equal playing ground and on the same page when it comes to relationships, because at the end of the day, the reason why we avoid them, the reason why our talking stages fail is because maybe we never saw eye to eye to begin with. When it comes to, now you've talked to this person for a certain amount of time. You've decided, okay, yeah, I want to get in this relationship. Now it comes the what's next. What boundaries are you going to draw? Are they going to meet your family? Are you going to introduce them to your friends right away? If not, how long are you going to wait? When are you going to make the first social media post? And I feel like those are things that aren't super important to a lot of us, but they are a big deal in the grand scheme of that partnership. And if you're with somebody who maybe doesn't see eye to eye on you in that, or maybe getting in a relationship was for that, cause problems later on. We all want to seem, especially on the internet, that our lives are better than what they truly are. And your relationship is not the exception to that rule. It is really fun getting to know people, learning what you like about them, learning about them, period. I don't want to say learning to like about them. Because I think if you're looking for things to like, that should be a red flag. If you're not already interested in the person. Oh, that's what I was getting at. Another reason why we struggle, I think we have a difficulty, is that we have set an expectation for our significant other, or for that person we want to make our significant other, that not that it's unattainable, but it is in your head. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of setting yourself up for failure when it comes to not fully knowing what people are able to do, especially when it comes to what you want. And the key, obviously, the balance of the expectation of the person and what they're fully capable of is communication. But honest communication. And that's something that we lack. A lot of us are very passive aggressive. A lot of us don't want to step on other people's toes. A lot of us totally want to keep other people safe. There's a rare few of us who are blunt, who are direct about how we feel, who feel comfortable expressing themselves. This is not for you. I'm not talking to you. I'm definitely talking to the people who you want him to show more appreciation than what he's already doing. But you break up with him for that. And he doesn't know why, or he doesn't understand why. It's not that he doesn't buy you flowers, it's that he doesn't ask you emotional questions. He doesn't ask you about how you feel about your family. He doesn't ask you, well, not that that's important, maybe it is in that situation, but he doesn't ask you the bigger questions. Besides like, oh babe, what do you want to eat? Stuff like that. And it's knowing when you've created a standard for somebody that they're not able to achieve, versus genuinely loving or liking somebody for who they are. Right now, I'm single by choice. I don't think that that's important to say. However, I do think it's important to share with you guys how I have navigated dating in my 20s. I like to say that I'm old school, that I'd love to run into my significant other at the bar and he buys me a drink, or I'm pumping gas and he pays for my gas without asking or approaching me in a derogatory, misogynistic way. But the truth of the matter is, of course I'm on dating apps. Of course I'm putting myself out there in another way. But you have to also know what you're looking for. And how do you know that, Aaliyah? How do you know what you're looking for in a person if you're single, if you're not dating, if you're not talking to other people? Honestly, I have really great friends. Really amazing friends around me. To the point where my friends are 100,000% my chosen family. When you're in a relationship, you learn a lot about unconditional love and promise making and planning quirks about others, things that they hate, their pet peeves, things that they're super passionate about. And it's really important that as individuals, you want to know those things about someone. You want to appreciate somebody in their entirety of what they have to offer the world. Because if you, later on, it's like, yeah, they have a great paying job, they treat me well. But imagine if you guys can't have a conversation, an interesting conversation about things that you guys both genuinely like. Or if you don't have that middle ground. Or if you don't know what their freaking coffee order is. Like, that's not that that's says you don't love them, but it definitely, for somebody you do love, that's definitely something you may want to know. And I've learned through my friendships what kinds of people I do get along with really well. Through my friendships, I've learned how to effectively communicate. Because obviously you're not going to be best friends all the time. Yeah, that would be nice, but that's not realistic. Your partner is 100% your, what's the word? Your equal. And your friends, you should also see them as your equal. Your relationship is just a lot more intimate than your friendship. And of course, that is what separates the line. That's why you see a lot of people getting into relationships with their best friends of the opposite sex. It's not that you can't have a best friend of the opposite sex. It's especially when you're in a relationship, but it just goes to show you that people who do connect on multiple levels, on multiple layers, who can look like they are in their own space, they get along great together and their relationships are amazing because they know how to speak to each other when shit hits the fan. They know how to speak to each other and how to effectively communicate what they do and want, what they do like and don't like, what their expectation is from their significant other without it being condescending, without it being hurtful, without it being triggering. Nobody's perfect, of course, but in finding that those people in your life who you're able to do those hard things with, who you're able to have those difficult conversations with, definitely helps teach how to love each other at all times. Shows you unconditional love. How many friends have you had for years who no matter what happens, you know they're going to be by your side? I'm not talking about frenemies. No, I don't care. If you're one of those people who goes and talks bad about your friend to your other friend and then you guys are buddy-buddy the next day, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not a real friendship, but that's for a whole other conversation. What I'm talking about is your friend who you guys can argue about your difference in opinion when it comes to, I don't know, a basketball game, without actually uncovering or saying things like hitting below the belt. Obviously, some people in relationships, not all relationships are perfect, but it should show you the types of person that somebody is. I'm really sorry if you guys can hear the siren. But it is just one of those things where in love, in relationships, we are all human. And we are all bound to step on toes. We are all bound to disagree. And in your friendships, you should take a look at who you do hang around with, why you hang around with those people. Like, what do you like about them? How do you guys speak to each other? I know with my friends personally, I am definitely a feely person, not a touchy-feely person where I'm going to go have sex with my friend, but I'm definitely going to lay my head on your shoulder. I might link arms with you as friends because like to feel close to my people because I am comfortable. But that's what I like. I understand if I have a friend who doesn't necessarily like being touched, who does not want me to hug them upon seeing them, that's what they don't like, and that's okay. I'm never, as a friend, as a person, you should never want to overstep somebody's boundaries. And that's why they're your friend. Because, yeah, that's not how you show affection. But they may love the same TV show as you, or you guys might love the way you discuss or view personal finance. Things like that. You're allowed to enjoy with friends. It's then those friendships that should, in my opinion, lead by example for what you maybe want in a partner down the line. How do you make friends? You eventually start talking to people. And who's to say you're not going to end up dating one of your friends? That's very common, very normal. One of the number one ways people get together is through meeting through friends, through mutual friends. Because, oh, I have a friend who likes this. You guys should totally, I don't know, grab drinks or grab coffee. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's a healthy way, that's a healthy way to start a relationship. Because, of course, we post the best freaking pictures on our Tinder. I still have vacation pictures from 6 months ago on my Tinder profile. But do I look like that every day? Obviously not. Do you look like your Tinder pictures? Have you face-tuned the fuck out of yourself because that's the image you want to put out there? Cool. Live your life. But just remember, when you're with somebody, when you find somebody off of your profile, off of these apps, in person, at the grocery store, through a friend, that you want to like that person, you want to love that person for who they are and not what they can be to you. Not the boyfriend or girlfriend or partner image slot in your life that is void that you want to fill with the next person who breathes at you correctly. You know? It's one of those things where you genuinely want to go all in and to the ends of the earth. Or not earth, I mean, we're not all that dedicated, but personally I want in my relationship to have that unconditional love. That Jada and that Will love, that entanglements on the side love. Like, that's crazy to me. But that's a boundary that they've set for themselves that worked, and look at them thrive. They are partners in life. And in relationships at our 20s, maybe we're not looking for that. But you damn well be paying attention to what you do like out of the relationships that you end up in, because there's a reason you're there. Life is not easy. Relationships are not easy. They're definitely fun. You can definitely have a good time. But like I said, always when you're looking, be upfront. If all you want is a fuck, cool. Especially as a girl, as a single girl, I'm definitely one of those people who, if that's not saying that, like, whatever. Bottom line is, if I want to just fool around, I'm going to make that clear. I don't want you to call me or text me telling me how great of a time you had, or, okay, maybe I would want that, but I don't want you to call and text me, oh, I love the way your hair smells. Like, that's a line that you've crossed, and I'm going to tell you you've crossed it. You want somebody who's going to be in a relationship with you, take the signs when they're only texting you at 3 a.m. that's not what they want. Take those signs into consideration. Be aware of how people are interacting with you in the dating world, because we're all in our heads all the time. Nobody's going to read your mind. You do need to speak, ask questions, and take in the information that you're getting to know how you are going to act accordingly. You don't want to get your heart broken, neither does that other person. But if the situation that you're currently in isn't the right one, that person's throwing you off, giving you bad vibes or bad juju, whatever it is, like, let them know, hey, it's not working out, sorry. Don't just ghost people. I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. It's one of those lessons that you have to learn, because didn't really understand why ghosting people was so bad until I was ghosted. It hurts because you really don't know what you did wrong, or if there's anything you could have done differently to have had the situation change. So, not that you owe anyone an explanation, but as a mature adult, you should be able to effectively communicate that that's not who you wanted. Don't have to say why. It can be something as simple as, hey, not really feeling this. It was great, but I really appreciate your time. I hope you find what you're looking for. Simple as that. Or something like, cool, thanks for XYZ. Just want to let you know I don't think this is going to work out the way we expected or the way I may have expected. Just really wish you all the best. If you have questions, let me know, but you're not the one. And that's okay, because maybe they'll get mad, but you're on to the next fish in the sea. There's so many of us who are maybe scared to start dating a relationship, get into relationships, but honestly, like, take your time. You will be ready when you are ready. At 22, we don't have the world figured out. We maybe want to act like we do, maybe want to pretend like we do, but it's okay to make mistakes. That's life. Just know in relationships, once you sign that marriage certificate, once you get the government involved in your love, there are drastic measures that need to be taken to undo that. So just be aware, communicate, love yourself so that way you know you can love others. Not love yourself so you can, but love yourself so you have an idea of how to love others. And don't put so much pressure on everyone, especially yourself. Take it day by day. Yeah, you might have a great conversation with somebody on Tinder for the first time or whatever, but it doesn't mean you're going to get married. All I'm really trying to say is keep an open mind to relationships, an open heart. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be heartbroken. It fucking sucks, but you will move on. You will get past this. And just know at the end of the day, your friends will be there for you when your actual relationships maybe don't work out. But that's really it for me. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, really appreciate it. Tell your friends. Maybe give this a like, a share. But honestly, be true to you, love yourself, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.